Hello, this is the lecture for Unit 7, Creating a Research Poster. Research posters provide a chance for authors to present their research in an engaging and visual arrangement that an audience can take in at a glance. A well-designed research poster uses colorful, relevant images and concise language to present information about some specific aspect of a research project. The spatial limitations of a research poster, usually measuring 3 by 4 feet, allow a viewer to see the most important aspects of a research project, the title of the project, the researcher's approach, the relevant data, and the key conclusions, all at once. At the same time, presenting a research project in the form of a research poster presents authors with both the challenge of focalizing their message down to a handful of elements, as well as with the opportunity to address critical questions about their own research, such as, what is the central narrative of my research project? What are my most important data? How do the different pieces of my research project connect into a unified whole? How can visual elements enhance the impression I wish to convey? A research poster cannot communicate everything you know about a topic, and it should not try to. You can think of a research poster as a kind of advertisement for the research you are doing, a form of communication intended to provoke curiosity and discussion rather than to provide a comprehensive statement. In fact, at most conferences, the poster's role is usually that of a discussion starter, like one of those t-shirts that says, "Ask me about my grandchildren." The poster's author typically stands next to the poster, ready to discuss aspects of the research project in more detail. The kinds of conversations that ensue not only help disseminate perspectives and information, but they can also provide valuable networking opportunities for both participants. Here are some elements to consider while designing your poster. Focus. Effective research papers tend to focus narrowly on some particular aspect of a research project. More specifically, engaging research posters, posters that act as effective magnets to attract the eyeballs and brainwaves of submission reviewers and conference attendees, tend to highlight the more sensational, visual, or impactful aspects of a research project. If your research is an overview of different types of medical fraud, for instance, it might be interesting to identify some particularly shocking variety of fraud for a research poster, perhaps one that has been covered in the news media, so that published images of victims and perpetrators can be incorporated into the poster design. Once you get the conversation started, you can introduce your audience to the more prosaic aspects of your research. Structure. Some poster templates will have section titles. For example, the Goodwin Research Poster template includes boxes labeled Abstract, Purposes, Results, Methods, Conclusions, and References embedded into them, but there is no required format for research posters. It is a good idea to chunk what you want to say into 4 or 5 pieces, but how you do so depends on your own approach to your research. You may decide to include sections such as Introduction, Research Questions, Evidence Gathered, Literature Review, Key Themes, Discussion, etc. You are also welcome to develop more personalized titles for your sections that identify important aspects of your project. However you go about doing it, chunking your poster into a finite number of sections will help keep your information from running together and will make it easier for someone looking at your poster to navigate this information visually. Text. Text on a poster should be readable from 10 feet away, meaning that the text font cannot get too small. No text on a poster should be smaller than 20 point, typically. Writing text for a research poster requires economy and precision. You cannot simply copy and paste the text of a research paper into the boxes of a research poster, or you will wind up with gibberish. Research poster text needs to be thoughtfully edited so that every word conveys as much information as it can, and so that no extraneous words appear. As such, writing text for posters provides good practice in writing concisely. If a paragraph can be adapted into a series of bullet points, it should be. The number of words in a research poster should be between 300 and 600 at most. Images. The most important criterion to consider when including images in your poster is relevance. It is not advisable to include clip art simply for the sake of filling up space. In the limited enclosure of a research poster, every element must mean something and contribute to the overall presentation. If a picture can be removed without disrupting the meaning of your poster, it probably should be removed. The best images are ones that help to explain your research either by displaying relevant data in the form of charts, graphs, or tables, or by providing photographs that illustrate specific aspects of your poster's argument. As mentioned previously, it is best to think about the visual element early on in the design process so that you can slant your research to emphasize aspects of your topic that are conducive to visual representation. Layout. Effective research posters fill up the available space with content, but they avoid a cluttered appearance through the use of symmetry, balance, and consistency. Research poster templates will usually provide a regular, congruent, symmetrical layout. You should feel free to manipulate these layouts creatively, but it is always a good idea to remember that if you change the shape of one box, you should consider how that one change affects the appearance of the whole poster and tweak the layout accordingly. It is advisable to retain some white space in the layout of your poster, especially between different elements, to keep different pieces from running together and to enhance the poster's visual appeal. It is also advisable to avoid using more than 2 fonts in any one poster. Designing a research poster provides a helpful entryway into your research project, both for your potential audience as well as for yourself as an author. Developing a research poster can help you to feel more confident about the main message and purpose of your research, and the kinds of discussions that your research paper may start can also branch off into promising and fruitful new directions.